How's it going, everyone? I'm your host, Collateral, and welcome back to more Pokemon HeartGold version and Pokemon SoulSilver version. Last time, we played Errand Boy for Professor Elm, who in turn gave us a Pokemon, so we could do our errand, you know, all that fun stuff. But unfortunately, as we were running our errand, a red-haired boy by the name of Silver broke into the lab and stole a Totodile. But since we stopped him, and the police are currently out looking for him, Professor Elm suggested we go out and do the Johto Gym Challenge, which, you know, is kind of standard Pokemon fare. Anyways, on that note, since Silver was standing right here, there's a hidden item. It's just a potion, nothing crazy. But yeah, let's go out into, I guess, the world that we already got a small look at. There you are. Ethan, you can catch wild Pokemon with Pokeballs. Follow me. Every Pokemon game's gotta have one of these, a little obligatory catching tutorial. And another fun fact, if you're playing as Lyra and had Ethan do the tutorial for you, he'd just jump right into it. That little bit right there wouldn't play. It would start with this. Yeah, okay, this tutorial's very slow. I just don't really know what to say over it other than complaining about how slow it is. I could go into like the actual equation of catching Pokemon, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Never been a big math guy, to be honest. But yeah, anyways, what you want to do is lower the opponent Pokemon's health, the wild Pokemon's health rather. Lower it enough to the point where you can feel comfortable catching it. A Pokeball, of course, is the weakest Pokeball of them all. There are a bunch of different types of them. The Pokeball's the standard one. They should be good for early game for this point, though. Alright, so she caught a Rattata. Very nice. That's kind of rare at this time of day. See, just like that. It's better to lower your target's HP more than I did, or make it sleep or something. You can try all kinds of things to see what works. I'll give you these. Good luck. We get Pokeballs for not efforts, but watching. I guess it was an effort having to sit through all that. But now that we can catch Pokemon with Pokeballs, I can finally do what I wanted to do last video, but really couldn't. Or at least it wouldn't have made much sense for me to do. And that's talk about the wild Pokemon. So, let's get started. Pidgey is the first of many wild Pokemon we'll be talking about in this game. It has both the normal and flying type, and it's pretty average stats-wise. It's balanced with nothing particularly outstanding, but it will evolve at levels similar to your starter, so that could be reason enough to pick it up if that sounds good to you. The main issue I have with it though is that flying is among one of the most common types in the game, and while it's not the worst flying type by any means, it's outclassed pretty quickly. But I will say it is good to get if you just need a flying type, or if you just want to raise one temporarily. Next we have Rattata, and for being the resident early normal type you normally find at the start of all these games, it's surprisingly an uncommon encounter for a little while. Rattata's a fast physical attacker, especially for this point in the game, since 72 base speed is some of the highest we'll be seeing for a while. And I can't talk about Rattata's attack without mentioning Guts, the ability of choice for this one. It's pretty hard to reliably set up for a while, but this is easily the best thing about it. Unfortunately, it's very frail and isn't likely to take hits well. It has pretty wide TM coverage, but don't expect much from the special moves. It'll be fine at level 20, but it is likely to fall behind the rest of the team as it ages. And here's Johto's very own Rattata clone, Sentret. This one evolves quicker than Rattata, but I recommend it less for battling. If you do want to use it for that, it evolves at a very generous level 15, and it has pretty good stats for that early on. Being able to outspeed anything else for a while and set up defense curls, pretty nice. But the real mileage comes from being able to learn 5 of the HM moves you'll need to progress through the game. HM moves are something we'll be seeing in the near future, so I'll talk about them then, but just know that Furret is a very good user of them. Wrapping things up here, we have Hoot Hoot, which is a night-only encounter. Hoot Hoot's pretty different from the other early birds, and I'm not talking about its encounter times. Its stats mainly lie in HP and special defense, and it learns moves like Hypnosis and Reflect at respectable levels. I think that can make this a decent support player that can take a couple hits while it sets up, at least early on. But just know you won't be getting good flying type damage from this one for a while. So as you can see, I'm trying to catch these Pidgeys because I want to use one for later on. Not for my team, of course. Pidgey's kind of boring for my tastes. But yeah, I just want to catch it for future like HM use. I'm also trying to catch a Sentret for the same reason. If I can find one, rather, because, like, good lord, Pidgey, I know you're common, but so is Sentret. There we go, hi, buddy! My cat's meowing in the background, that's... I don't think he's not meowing loud enough for the mic to pick it up, but... he's got a lot to say. But alright, let's catch this Sentret. I think it's in low enough health. If it's not, then I'm going to be mildly upset, because that means I wasted a Pokeball for nothing. But it's not like I was going to really use it for much of anything else. There we go, of course. Nice. So yeah, Pidgey and Sentret, all I really wanted to catch right there. Let's read its Pokedex entry, actually. Sentret, the scout Pokemon. A very cautious Pokemon, it raises itself up using its tail to get a better view of its surroundings. I love just going through the Pokedex and reading, like, some of the Pokedex entries. Kind of like the Piclopedia in Pikmin 2. But yeah. Oh, also, something I didn't show last video is there's a route up here. You can't climb ledges, but you can jump down from them to take a shortcut. Different kinds of Pokemon appear past here. If you want to catch them all, you have to look everywhere. So, yeah, about that ledge thing, I talked about that last video, but it's especially true here. We got a bunch of grass, but no real way up here. But what we do have is a couple new Pokemon to talk about, so let's talk about them now, since there's really no better time. The name of the game with Geodude is raw physical defense and hitting hard with physical attacks. Unfortunately, it's slow and it really lacks in the special department. Rock and Ground has a fair number of weaknesses at 6, and 2 of them are quad weaknesses, dealing quadruple damage instead of double. In addition to that, it also requires being traded to fully evolve, and Graveler might not be worth it if you can't manage to do that. We've also got Spearow, which is yet another normal flying type. Compared to Pidgey, it's quicker and more aggressive, but has lower defense. It starts with moves that better complement its stats. Peck is better than Gust for what it's trying to go for just by being physical, and it also gets access to Pursuit and Aerial Ace before evolving. I would personally consider this to be one of the better options for a flying type strictly because the other options either come in much later or just don't have as good moves. As much as I prefer Dodrio and Crobat, Dodrio comes way too late and Crobat's moves aren't as good in this game. I'm gonna be completely honest, when I first played this game as a kid, I didn't even know you could find Geodude up here. But I guess it's a pretty good find this early on, actually. Considering everything I just said. But my god, this thing is tanky, and Tackle does nothing. But I want to get my levels up. What?! Tackle being low accuracy, I forgot. Because if it's not 100%, it's 50%. Hate that. How dare this game make me waste an extra turn. Unbelievable. I love not having repels. This is so nice. Alright. Now that we made it out of there, let's actually go do what we needed to do. There's an Apricorn there. And a wild Pokemon here. Plech. Alright. Just another Pidgey. You know the drill. You know the type. Normal flying, of course. I can't even take a few steps. I guess that's why I shouldn't be running so much. But hey, at least if any of these end up being shiny, I won't be too bad out of luck because I still got Pokeballs on me. You know what? Other than the scripted one we're supposed to find, I wonder if I'm actually going to find any shiny Pokemon this playthrough. It would be really funny if I did. Even better if it's a one that I want to add to my team. Yeah, let's get healed up. Because that's generally a smart thing to do. Alright. Let's put Pidgey, and I guess Sentret in the PC too, because they're not really going to see much use for a while. Not a while, but a little while. Normally I like to go do the move Pokemon menu, but I misclicked. But I was only depositing anyways. I like the move menu because it lets me deposit and withdraw. It's what became the standard for later Pokemon games. Anyways, now that we have Pokeballs, we can actually buy Pokeballs from the shop. Something the guide gent briefly lied about, but it wasn't much of a lie, so much as a... I don't know if I call it a misdirection either. It was temporarily false. Anyways, we're gonna want to go up the same path we did before, Route 30. But the difference is, we want to go to the other branch. Okay, I guess I just... you know what? My wild Pokemon luck right there wasn't too bad. But it's another Pidgey, so never mind. Yes, it was. Pokemon can use moves as long as it still has PP. That's right. I think I talked about that last video. Anyways, there was a Pokemon battle going on right up here against these two youngsters. Yeah, there's two on screen now. Trainer battles work a little differently than regular wild Pokemon battles. I was gonna talk about this during the Silver fight, but anyways, trainer battles give more experience points since they're raised by a human trainer and not just in the wild. They're generally higher level than the regular mooks of just the tall grass, and they can have up to 6 Pokemon, but they're not gonna have that many this early on. But anyways, while trainer battles are going on, I do want to go over Pokemon just to pad out for time. So, let's get started. I just lost, so I'm trying to find more Pokemon. Wait, you look weak? Come on, let's battle. Anyways, let's get talking. In HeartGold only, you can find Caterpie. The main deal with this one is that it starts pitifully weak, but evolves much quicker than everything else. Speaking of evolutions, Metapod can be found here too. Metapod is the defensive middle stage that only knows Harden, which is why I would recommend catching it as Caterpie and then evolving it. Anyways, when it's fully evolved, it'll become Butterfree, a bug and flying type. Pretty bad type combination, but those stats at level 10 along with access to Confusion and the Powder moves this early on can be pretty nice to have. Just don't expect its type to carry much weight, and you might want to box it after a while. And in SoulSilver only, you can find Weedle, the poison type counterpart to Caterpie, and its evolution, Kakuna. Same deal as with Metapod, I'd recommend catching a Weedle and evolving it. And I hate to say it, but Beedrill isn't quite as good as Butterfree in this game at least. Beedrill has the better typing thanks to being more defensively viable, but it won't learn a bug type attack until level 16 with Twin Needle, or Bug Bite if you can stomach raising your Weedle up to level 15. And as for poison moves, you're stuck with Poison Sting until it gets Poison Jab at level 37, long after it's done being useful. If it got better moves, I could maybe recommend it for early game, but as it is now, I'd recommend Butterfree more. And then there's Ladybug, a morning encounter in SoulSilver only. This is one of the all-time worst Pokemon, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. For starters, Bug and Flying is a terrible type both defensively and offensively. Its only stats over 55 when fully evolved are Special Defense and Speed. Those abilities aren't going to help much when it's too frail to survive much of anything asleep. And it doesn't get a Bug-type move until Silver Wind at level 29, 25 if you choose not to evolve it, so Swarm is kinda out the window for a while. It does get Light Screen and Reflect at level 14, which is pretty respectable in terms of support, but it's terrible otherwise. Anything it does is done better by other Pokemon, and there's no reason to consider it for a serious run. Lastly, we've got Spinarak, a night encounter found only in HeartGold version. It's not quite as bad as Ladybug, but it's not much better either. It's a slow physical attacker with bad moves for a while. Poison Sting, Constrict, Leech Life until Nightshade at level 15, and Shadow Sneak until level 19. It gets access to Sucker Punch and Spiderweb after evolving, but it's still hardly worth using. Yeah, anyways, sorry for moving back and forth like that. I was scouring for items. Oh, oops, did not mean to press that. What does this sign say? Trainer tips, no stealing other people's Pokemon. Pokeballs are to be thrown only at wild Pokemon. That is true. If you were to throw a Pokeball at another trainer's Pokemon, it would just bounce off. They'd scold you for being a thief, and I think you would lose that Pokeball. I'm not a trainer, but if you look one in the eyes, prepare to battle. Alright. Anyways. Another Pidgey. Classic. Are we in Route 31 yet? I don't think we are. No, we're not. It's right past that cliff. Like, why not another Caterpie? I guess it is less annoying than another Metapod. Anyways, yeah, Route 31. There is one new Pokemon we can find here. I guess I'll talk about it while I'm fighting this bug trainer, so there we go. Instead of bug Pokemon, I found a trainer. Bellsprout is a grass and poison type with decent speed and solid offense. The biggest thing it has going against it is that move pool. It doesn't get anything good for a while, and it can be hard to raise because of that. Vine Whip is its strongest move until Acid at level 23, and it doesn't get another grass move until Razor Leaf at level 39, and then Leaf Blade and Leaf Storm at level 47 once fully evolved. So unless you're willing to put TMs on it, pass on it. But I would recommend catching one for something we'll be seeing in the near future. You know, it did hit me that I could just easily talk about that Pokemon while I'm looking for it. Oh, Bellsprout. Yeah, Caterpie, still another easy target. I think I'll be level 10 after this, so that's good. I missed Tackle. I can't wait to get Ember so I can actually have a 100% accurate move. And there we go, finally, knocked out. Is that enough? Yes, it is. Level 10, finally, and Ember. So I talked about how Tackle, Leer, and Smokescreen are physical and status respectively. Ember is a special attack, and as you can see... Wait, my attack is lower than my special attack? That's kind of funny, actually. Ember, 40 power. The foe is attacked with small flames. The target may also be left with a burn. However, despite that stat difference... Ember will do more damage than Tackle anyways, because it has slightly higher base power, and also Cyndaquil will get same type attack bonus from that. Excuse me. I don't believe I talked about this last video, but a Pokemon that uses a move of the same type will do 50% more damage. Dark Cave. We can talk about that a little later, actually. Got a potion... There were so many opportunities to talk about Bellsprout, even right here. I guess I could talk about the Dark Cave encounters. Black Apricorn, how nice. So I guess I could just... Let's talk to this guy, actually. Dark Cave. If a Pokemon could light it up, I'd explore it. So, yeah, Dark Cave. First dungeon in the game. And as you can tell... is dark. Very dark. Can't see a thing. But there are a couple new Pokemon we can find here, so let's talk about them. Here in Dark Cave, you can find the annoyingly common Zubat. We all know it and we can't stand running into it every 3 steps we take in a cave, but I'm here to say it's not all that bad. Well, at least until it gets Bite and Wing Attack anyways. It's pretty hard to raise in those early levels, but once it gets those moves, it can be pretty decent. Poison and Flying is a pretty solid defensive typing. It's not going to be the thing that carries Zubat to victory, but having a natural immunity to ground, one of Poison's weaknesses, is pretty nice. There is time to mull it over if you don't want one this week, since they can be found in just about any cave in the game. And found only 1% of the time, it's Dunsparce. Seriously, if you want to catch one, there are much easier ways to get one later on. Dunsparce is actually capable of a lot of things. It has a wide variety of moves it can learn by TM, and the ability Serene Grace makes a lot of those moves more useful, being able to land those secondary effects more often. But that's about where the positives end with Dunsparce. Its stats, well, they're not very good, they leave a lot to be desired, and since this is a 4th generation Pokemon game, you can't evolve it into Dunsparce in this game, so yeah, if you're using it, you're stuck with weak little Dunsparce, you might want to pass on it. Got a potion right here, nice. But, yeah. That's Dark Cave for you. And we are right outside of Violet City. Like, it is right there after this bug catcher. What's this right here? Pokeball. Nice. I caught a bunch of Pokemon. Let me battle with you. Alright, so bug catchers are very, very easy, especially if you have Cyndaquil. Like, they typically have a lot of Pokemon on them. But they're usually pretty weak, just unevolved bug Pokemon. Ember can one-shot just about all these guys. It's super effective, same type attack bonus, stronger than Tackle. All that added on top of each other, and yeah, Jox is gonna have an easy time. Like, it's just that easy. What's this guy got? More Caterpies, maybe a Weedle? Hey, Weedle. And I'm pretty sure in this game the Pokedex is judged based on how many Pokemon you've seen rather than how many you've caught. So the version exclusives won't be too bad. And another Caterpie. And there we go. Bug catcher down. Aww. You're awesome. I like you. I look here for Pokemon every day. When I'm here in the tall grass, I find all kinds of berries. So if you'd like, I'll share some. Can I get your phone number? Yeah, sometimes trainers you beat in battle will ask for your phone number. So you'll register them in your Pokegear. And usually it'll be stuff like wanting a rematch or just... yeah, either wanting a rematch or finding rare items. Or just regular items for that matter. There are some that I'd recommend recruiting above others. Not recruiting, but getting the phone number of above others, because they'll let you know when a Pokemon swarm is happening, whenever rare Pokemon become more plentiful. Dunsparce is one of those examples. I knew it was you, Ethan. How'd you get past me? Here's something neat for surprising me. We get the Versus Recorder. This records battles that you do in... yeah, multiplayer, yeah. Anyways, we've made it to Violet City. We care about the traditional buildings around here. That's why even the Pokemart and Pokemon Center are painted a bit somberly to blend in. I actually didn't know that. I never talked to that NPC. Shard to berry, yeah, I trade berry for a shard. If you bring me some shards, I'll give you 3 berries, yeah. So he'll do just that. I don't have any berries, though, or any shards. There have been reports of Ghost-type Pokemon appearing in Sprout Tower. They say normal Pokemon moves have no effect on them. So, yeah. So, let's go to the Pokemon Center first. And I'll show you the rest of Violet City in the next video. Because we're not running low on time or anything. Thank the Lord that is not actually a YouTube thing anymore. Because remember when they used to be 10 minutes at most? Yeah, I remember. I don't actually. It was a long time since that time, and I don't even remember if I even uploaded back then. But anyways, next time on Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver, we'll go through Violet City, challenge the first Pokemon gym in the Johto region, and see all the other sites to see. Like, what's this one right here? The Pokemon School. Stuff like that. See you guys then.